If you want to see a beautifully shot romantic comedy about Detty December that is not funny, where the entire story feels like the intro, and where a very rich man who lives alone but somehow has 12 chairs in his dining room fries plantain in a way that will just embarrass everybody watching, Christmas in Lagos is the movie for you. The movie, directed and written by Jade Osiberu and streaming on Prime, mainly follows Fiyin, daughter of a clothing merchant, as she navigates romance in a festive period. Now, for this review, I will revert to an earlier format of talking about the storyline before giving the verdict at the end. I'm still testing formats for presenting these my review videos, but some of the viewers say that they prefer the one where I give the verdicts at the end instead of in real time. So I will segment the videos in that respect. But you're the viewer, you can let me know what you prefer. But we'll do, what I said for this one. We open up with Fiyin picking up her cousin Evie and male bestie Hello. Male bestie, what a clown. From the airport. Now, before his arrival, Fiyin had confided in Evie that she was in love with her bestie and was looking forward to letting him know. On their way home, all her best laid plans are thrown off when Elo mentions his intention to propose to a certain Yagazie, a girlfriend he had not mentioned until now. Now, Fiyin, understandably shocked, is suddenly at a loss at what to do to remedy this situation. On another hand, we have Fiyin's mother, Bemi, played by Shaffy Bello, a wealthy clothing merchant being pursued by her billionaire ex, Zach, who in this movie is played by RMD. Even though she is currently in a relationship with
that small boy,
played by Wale Ojo, Zach has gone through 3 marriages and 3 divorces while still somehow persistently trying to marry Shafi. But our independent black woman is not having it, though she obviously enjoys the attention and the lavish gifts. But in fact, she's not having any of it, even from her own boyfriend, because she has grown to become reliant on herself since the death of her husband over 2 decades before. Elo, aside being his best friend Fiyin's new love interest, is also dealing with his own troubles at home. Now, having lost his sister to a drunk driver a few years ago during the festive season, Christmas is basically anathema in the house. His attempts to liven the mood draws anger and tears from his mother, who would rather not relieve the trauma of having the daughter who would now forever be absent from the celebration. She goes to church later, where the priest, in an emotional scene, tries to raise her hopes and help her heal. I was pleasantly surprised to see Ejike Asebu. I haven't seen him in a movie in like maybe a decade, and I really, even as a kid, I really used to like his baritone. So yeah, it was nice to see him in this movie. So the movie is more like 5-door romances in Lagos than Christmas in Lagos because everyone has something going on. Evie, Finn's cousin, gets into something of her own with an Okada riding guitarist she met at Zach's birthday party, who hopes to one day tour the world with the biggest musicians, whatever that means. Even the maid is not left out as she performs her own mating dance with a delivery guy. Fiyin finally meets Yagazie at a concert and finds herself intimidated by her credentials as an epidemiologist who did some important work during COVID. But she is encouraged by her friend Ivie to tell Elo about her feelings. And I just kept thinking, so that what will happen? Like, he will leave his girlfriend for you? Is that what is supposed to happen? Is that what the movie is trying to let me understand? Well, anyway, I guess romance always has a touch of madness in it. Elo has not really been shown to be oblivious to Fiyin's feelings towards him, but I was a bit concerned in the end that Fiyin is not maybe as good a person as she believes she is. After some introspection, Bemi, who has taken a break from her current relationship to think about her future, decided to return all of Zach's gifts and go with the current love of her life, Wale Ojo, who can probably park a tractor in his living room, considering the size of his front door. Damn! And in so doing, accepts his 6-month-old proposal, which had been hanging. As an aside, Wale Ojo, I honestly forget this character's name, is really, really bad at frying plantain. Like, you're a rich man, put 1 more spoon of oil in that bloody pot. Jeez. I like that she tells Zach the billionaire that he only really enjoys the idea of her and the thrill of the chase, not really looking to settle down, especially after 3 marriages and 3 divorces. So this means Fiyin and her cousin Ivie suddenly have a wedding to plan, for her mother Agbemi. Now, somehow they are supposed to plan this wedding in 1 week. And what? I assumed that it would be a private ceremony with perhaps 10 people. But in the end, it had Adekunle go, the biggest hall, hundreds of people. Like, I don't know if they wanted to just sweep it under the rug, but it's a pretty important plot point too. I also thought we would see the frustrations maybe of planning a wedding in general, not to talk about planning one in 1 week during Christmas. It was the same to me. If you're Nigerian, of course, you would know that weddings take months to plan. But Finyi seemed to have effortlessly pulled this magic off while still having time to lust after her best friend. Why it had to be on Christmas Day is also unclear to me, as the hurry from Christmas service at the church to the... I don't know. It was just a weird plot point that went nowhere. It seemed like it was going to be important. A wedding in a week? Ha! Elo's mother finally heals from losing her daughter and even takes charge in decorating the Christmas tree, to the pleasant surprise of Elo and his dad. At this point, I began to check the time to see if anything comedic was going to happen before this movie ran through its runtime. And I think at this point, I remember checking and seeing that it had about 40 minutes left. And I was wondering, well, is anything going to happen at all? Everything still felt like it was background information dialed up to 11. Ugh. On the wedding day proper, Bemi goes down memory lane in honor of her late husband, and I only point this out because I want you guys to see this nightmare monster that they photoshopped into this picture. Like, did she only have one eye perpendicular and then the other one vertical in the past? Why is her other eye looking grotesque? Yeah. And fun fact, the director Jade Osiberu says that the original picture is of her own family and they used AI for this manipulation. But did nobody look at the picture after the AI was done with it? The graphic designer could have done a much better job. This was honestly disturbing to look at. During the wedding party itself, we have this scene where this evil woman from Smart Money Woman makes a mockery of the French accent in a way that will certainly annoy French people. So I guess that covers the comedy parts of this romantic comedy. I don't know, because I think that is the only slightly amusing thing in the whole movie. Finn also decided to do something stupid by kissing Elo in a moment of weakness, just as his girlfriend happens upon them. And honestly, the movie just goes on autopilot from here onwards. It's super predictable until the very end. And if you enjoy mushy romantic stuff, then you should definitely check it out. I've decided not to maybe spoil this one, but I have honestly pretty much told you the whole story. There's really nothing in it. So okay, let's get to the verdict now that we are done with the story. First of all, I would like to point out an error at the beginning. Even though the flight path on this aircraft was supposedly going from Cross River to Lagos, even though that exact point of departure on the Nigerian map is actually Abia State, the progress bar was actually showing from Lagos to elsewhere. I'm not being nitpicky. I didn't even have to look for it. It just didn't make graphical sense that the path would end in Lagos, but another part would begin in Lagos in a plane. It just meant that there was something off. So the film is very pretty to look at, though the reds and greens were garishly dialed up in the color grading to make the Christmas vibe come more alive. The movie has a lot of vibes, but I honestly can't say that it actually has a story going for it. It's fun to look at, but all the events just feel like they are bubbling beneath the surface of something better or something more interesting. Baby's story starts with her turning down proposals and then finally accepting the one from the man she's dating. Like, it would have been weird for her to accept RMD's proposal after he divorced 3 wives. I mean, it just shows that he's really, really, really bad at marriage. I didn't expect her to fall for him, and Jade must be joking if she thought that storyline would even slightly phase us. Ivie had the storyline where she was dating the guitarist she met at Zach's birthday, but nothing really comes of it. He asked her if he'd see her again in the end, and she was like, if you come to London. And how is that a good answer for someone who has never traveled abroad before? I guess the point is she really doesn't care, I guess, even though he helped her pick up on her poetry again. I don't know. But then, of course, it couldn't really end any other way. That's like the spirit of Detty December. It's not for lasting friendships. It's for flings, eh? It's not like he will suddenly become rich and get a visa to London to go and see woman. The housemaid and the delivery boy love was like a childish game. The girl is obviously lusting after him, but gives confusing signals. So I wondered exactly what the state of the relationship was before the events that are captured in this movie. In essence, the story is exactly the sum of its parts. Nothing much was ventured, nothing much was gained. For the plot, maybe a 2/5. It's pretty cliche and it confused me because I really wondered what Finny thought was going to happen. Like, her bestie would suddenly realize that he doesn't really like his girlfriend of a few, and then give her the ring as a consolation prize or what? Like, before I forget, I was really excited last week when I uploaded 2 videos and I got about 10,000 views in about 4 days. I also surpassed the 1,000 subscriber mark at the same time, so I'm super excited because next week would make this channel 5 months old, and I think the growth in that period has been pretty unprecedented. I'm not going to lie. I didn't expect it to go so well. It's not like that big, but it should go so big so fast. Thank you for everyone who has contributed to this. It also goes almost without saying that if you enjoy my channel and my videos, don't forget to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe for the YouTube algorithm, blah blah blah. All right, back to the show. Now, the cinematography was nice. It gave an air of luxury and light-hearted, celebration. I don't really get the fuss about Detty December, but at least the film tried to capture that carnival vibe that is what everybody likes to think that Detty December is actually like. But spoiler, 30 December is just overpriced concerts and bad traffic all happening in a very tiny area in Lagos Island. If you are not rich or if you don't know someone who is rich, there's really nothing dirty about it. The cinematography, I'll give maybe 3 over 5. It should have been 3.5, but I think they really overdid it on the reds and on the greens. For the audio, I think they had good soundtracks. They had also some really nice covers. They had Ayra, they had Waje, they had Adekunle Gold performing at various events. I thought it was nice. Maybe 4 over 5. I liked the acting in general, so I'm talking about the acting now. Nothing spectacular, but nothing really jumped out at me. So maybe another 3 over 5, I guess. My main takeaway is that I'm watching vibes. There was really nothing to look forward to, nothing really surprising, and you get this impression that nothing really happened. So it's quite forgettable. It's really the kind of movie that you can keep playing in the background while you're cutting plantain or something. Maybe they should have diverted some of the cinematography money to like hiring more screenwriters. I was really looking forward to a movie from this director, but my hopes were kind of dashed when I saw the quite noisy trailer for this movie. I still intend to review Gangs of Lagos though. I really like that one. So in total, Christmas in Lagos gets maybe a 2.9 over 5 from me. But don't take my word for it though. Judging from Twitter, this movie is the greatest thing ever filmed. So go watch on Prime Video if you like sentimental, straightforward romance with no surprises for a feel-good viewing session this season. If you are too poor, and who isn't in this economy, you can live vicariously through Fiyi and Ivie. On a final note, I am currently watching Inside Life by Clarence Peters. And I also just saw A Night in 2005. Two of them, both movies have somewhat similar themes, but you can help me decide in the comments which one to review next. Alright, that will be all for this review. I didn't intend for it to be a long one. There's really not much to talk about in the movie. See you in the next one. If you guys don't mind, even though this review has ended, I want to take like a minute to talk about this plantain scene because after I finished recording it, I thought about it and it just helped me a little more. So when the cameraman had the camera on the plantain, they did not think to himself, I don't think this is how much oil you need to fry plantain. Maybe they should put like another cup of oil or something. Like the directors, the actors were there when this pot was on the fire, and everybody was just totally happy with seeing plantain where the oil didn't even cover it. Like, what was happening in this scene when it was being shot? I just find it annoying. Maybe because I like plantain and this is just so disrespectful. Like, what exactly was happening here? Okay, I'm done. Okay, bye.